If you're an Amazon seller and you've been struggling with high ACOS in your advertising campaigns, then you've come to the right place. Hey everyone, my name is Adam Zulqarneyn. I'm an 8-figure Amazon seller and I'm the founder of ScaleItWithAds.com. And in today's video, I'm going to break down the 4 key strategies in Amazon PPC that you can use to quickly lower your ACOS and stop losing money. So firstly, what is Amazon ACOS? ACOS stands for Advertising Cost of Sales. It's calculated by dividing the amount of money you spend on your clicks from your Amazon ads by the amount of sales those clicks brought in. So why would you want to lower your ACOS in the first place? Ultimately, it's because of 2 reasons. Either you want to increase your profitability or you want to reallocate that budget elsewhere. So number 1, lowering your ACOS directly impacts your profitability because ACOS is the percentage of sales you spend on your advertising. So a lower ACOS means that you're spending less on your advertising to earn each dollar of sales. And number 2, budget reallocation. By lowering your ACOS, you free up budget that can be allocated to other areas of your business. So you could use that money to hypothetically spend on additional inventory or other advertising and marketing strategies in your business. Now let's move on to the 4 key strategies. Strategy number 1, identify and eliminate underperforming campaigns. Now, this is all about cutting out bleeding campaigns. These are the advertising campaigns that are just draining your budget and not delivering results. They have lots of ad spend with no orders. So you're spending a lot of money, but you're not actually getting anything back in return. So how do we execute this strategy? I'm going to flip the screen for this one. So you want to go ahead into your advertising dashboard and put up your campaigns. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the campaigns that aren't bringing in any conversions, and then we're going to put a pause on them. So this will eliminate the spend that we are wasting on campaigns with no orders, and ultimately it'll lower our overall ACOS. So as you can see here, on this account in the last 30 days, I've spent over £1.3 million of my own money on advertising and generated close to £5 million in sales with a nice cool ACOS of 27%. So I know a thing or two about selling on Amazon and running PPC. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to set the date range to lifetime, and then you want to filter by clicks greater than 12 and orders equals 0. And then we want to go through the campaigns and go ahead and pause the ones that are costing us money. So before you pause them, there's one thing you need to think about. And this really depends on your margin and what stage your business is in. Because if your cost per click is super low, like 30 cents, then maybe you might want to keep that campaign running. If I show you here are all the campaigns that we have with 0 orders and more than 12 clicks. We make it a priority in our operating procedures to filter through each week to see what's working and what's not working. So if you see here, I have 2 campaigns on the screen that are active. One has 15 clicks and £7.46 in ad spend, and the other has 17 clicks and £3.25 in ad spend. And the reason we have these 2 campaigns running and a few others below that, number 1, we are at a stage where we want to capture as much market share as possible. And number 2, they don't really cost us a lot. So maybe if there is a turn in fortune and someone does purchase, then our ACOS will probably not be super high. For example, if I filter by clicks and I do it highest to lowest, take a look at the campaign right at the top. It's got 41 clicks, but we have only spent £16.94 with a cost per click of 41 pence. Now, if you have a more competitive keyword target, maybe your cost per click might be $1.20 or £1.20. Then you'll hit £12 or $12 in 10 clicks. So that's why it's really important to routinely check your performance. And as you can see, there's a lot of similar scenarios in my dashboard here that we have low CPCs because we really do spend time on keyword research to find longer tail keywords and ASINs that other sellers aren't targeting as much. So what you want to do is go ahead and evaluate these campaigns and then pause them. It's crucial to take the emotion out of it and base the decision on data and logic. If you're a 7, 8 or 9 figure seller, you might be able to afford to let these type of campaigns run for a while. But if you're a smaller seller, or if you're new to FBA, then you want to pause these campaigns with 12 clicks and no orders. And the reason I said 12 clicks and not 10, like a lot of people would say, is because 12 clicks to one order is still an 8% conversion rate. And I'd be happy to accept that. If you want to be more conservative, then you can stick with 10 clicks. Moving on to strategy number 2, reduce your bids on high ACOS campaigns. This is a quite simple one actually, and it's really effective. What you're going to do is you're going to go into your campaigns, and this time you're going to lower your bids on those campaigns that are getting some sales, but they're being quite costly. So you don't want to pause these campaigns because they are performing and they are getting some results. And there's nothing worse than pulling the plug on something that is working and, most importantly, gathering valuable data. But one simple action you could do is simply dial your campaigns back a notch and reduce your bids by around 10%. So for example, you would usually download a sponsored report and filter them in the sheet. But for this video, to keep it short and to the point, I'm showing you in the targeting section in our advertising console. So for me, my target ACOS is 25%, for example. Now, I would consider anything over 75% a really high ACOS. So here we are identifying any campaigns with an ACOS higher than 75% generating sales. And these are the ones that we really want to improve and become more profitable on. If your break-even ACOS is higher, then you can raise this boundary slightly more. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some filters. I'm going to first select active status, enabled. Then I'm going to filter by ACOS less than or equals to 75%. And then I'm going to filter by clicks. And I want to do anything greater than 10. This is just so that I've got a little bit of data to work with. And guys, I just want to point out that everything is about testing. Nothing with advertising is certain. You need to test to get the feedback and then take action based on that feedback. So here, my top result has 37 orders and it's got an ACOS of just over 74%. I'm just going to check my bid now, and the bid is 0.93. What I'm going to do is slowly reduce my bid so that if orders do happen, it's going to cost less money, and maybe I can find a sweet spot that's something that I'm comfortable with. So now, rather than paying 0.93 a click, I'm now paying 0.84. And every 7 to 10 days, you can check your data and see how it's performing and what changes you can make. So what will this do? Well, by reducing your bid, you're essentially telling Amazon that you want to pay less for each click. Now remember, ACOS is the percentage of money you spent on your sales. So if you're paying less per click, then your ACOS will start to drop. But that's only if you get sales. If you do not get sales, then your ACOS is obviously going to creep up. There's a huge misconception Amazon sellers make. They think that by cutting back on the bids, the ACOS will magically drop. That's true to a certain extent, but it only applies if your ratio of orders to clicks stays the same. There's also one other thing to take into consideration. By cutting back on your bids, it's important to realize that there's a trade-off. You're likely to see fewer impressions on your campaigns. If you think about it, sponsored products operates on an auction model, so less aggressive bidding means less visibility. So while you might be getting fewer clicks overall, if your conversion rate, your ratio of clicks to orders, remains the same, then you're essentially getting more value for less spend, which in turn lowers your ACOS. Strategy number 3, pausing campaigns with a really high ACOS. So the last 2 strategies, we have identified campaigns that are not performing at all, and we have identified campaigns that are getting orders, but they're costing too much. The third strategy is identifying campaigns that have gotten some orders, but the ACOS is through the roof and unbearable. These are the campaigns that you just think, you know what, I'd rather spend my money elsewhere, at least on something that is going to get me better results. So this one's really basic. You're going to apply a filter, ACOS equals greater than or equal to 75, and then clicks greater than 10. So when I do this, you can see right away that in the last 30 days, I've spent £344 to generate £210 with an overall ACOS of 163%. Now, these campaigns are not really worth it for me. The majority of these are not effective at all. They're not getting many sales and they're just losing me money. So I'm going to go ahead and pause all of them. And the 1 or 2 campaigns that have a reasonable amount of orders but a higher ACOS, I'm going to apply the previous strategy and reduce the bid by about 10%. And the last strategy for this video is all about adding negatives to your automatic campaigns. So here what we're going to do is that anything that got 12 clicks or more in your automatic campaigns and didn't make a sale, we want to negative it. This is something that you should do every single week. You should go in and look at your campaigns and see where you're spending money that's not leading to any sales. So for this strategy, we're going to open up our automatic campaign for this product and we're going to click into the ad group. Then we go into the search terms and place a filter greater than 10 clicks and then orders equals 0. And the reason I've said 10 clicks and not 12, like the previous strategy, is because with manual campaigns, we have more control over our targeting. And seeing as this is an automatic campaign, this is automatically decided by Amazon. So with this targeting, I want to be more conservative, keep my targeting as relevant as possible. And this will leave us with the search terms that are costing us. So here you can see we spent only £32 on this auto campaign for this product, and that's not resulted in any sales. We've received a total of 40 clicks with no orders. So we can just go ahead and pretty much add these as negatives. So you want to copy and then paste them into negative exact so that Amazon doesn't charge us any money for these terms. You'll also see an option for negative phrase. The only time you'd want to use negative phrase is if that keyword is completely unrelated to your product. Or if it's a product that you know for sure 100% people will not buy your product after searching for that. For example, if my product is blue light blocking glasses, I don't want these glasses appearing for sunglasses. So in this instance, if my automatic campaign is automatically bidding on sunglasses, then that's going to cost me money. And I want to go ahead and negative phrase it so that I don't lose money and so that I can keep my targeting as relevant as possible. Guys, that's all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found value in this content. Guys, if there's any challenges or issues that you're facing with in your Amazon PPC or in Amazon in general, please go ahead and post your problems in the comments below. I'll go through each one and I'll be more than happy to put together a video for you answering each and every one of them. I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.